Hi class, I want to walk you through the teamwork tools and structures we have for the upcoming team-based units. Hi class, I want to walk you through the team-based structures and tools that we have for the upcoming units. So first thing to note is that you should have a team page here on Canvas. In order to find your team page, you're probably going to have a link on the left. Unfortunately, I can't really show you these things directly because my student preview that I have through my version does not allow me to show you teams. So much for that. However, the team page should look something like this. We're generally not going to be using a whole lot. The main reason that you're in Teams on Canvas is because it allows you to submit assignments as a team and have everyone get the same grade for it. And also so that you have an easy way to get contact information for people. So, of course, it doesn't show me the actual people here. If you do click on that for yourself, you should be able to see the different people in your team and have at least their email address so you can get in touch with them that way if you need to. But that's about it for Canvas for now. If you do find some useful features or tools here, feel free to tell me about them, but I generally do want you to keep all of your work and your conversation over on Slack so it's in one place and it's easy for everyone to find so people don't get confused. So let's take a look over at Slack. When you go to Slack, you should see a new channel which has this little lock on it. This means that it's a private channel, which means that only people who are members of that channel will be able to see that channel and be able to see the conversation that goes on in it. So I'll be able to see it, your teammates will be able to see it, but that's about it. The channel itself will be a useful place for you to have your conversations. So in the units, we're going to be talking about two major team assignments per unit. One is a discussion and one is an exercise. In the discussion, you're mainly just going to be having a discussion here on Slack. In the exercise, you'll be developing a document, usually through something like Google Docs or Google Slides, and then uploading it to an assignment on Canvas. For that latter part of it, that's going to be something I'll talk about more in the team admin video, so take a look there when you are the team admin to understand how to go ahead and submit these different assignments. Just a couple quick features in Slack that might be useful to get you started. So one thing is that you can create Google Docs right in Slack. So we have a feature that allows you just to create a new Google document, spreadsheet, or presentation here. Or if you have one that you want to work from that's already in your Google Drive, you can just click on this link and that will connect back to your Google Drive and allow you to upload it from there. And that way it's shared with everyone in your channel. So whenever you need to do an exercise that requires a Google document or something like that, just use that. Another thing that can be really useful is the remind feature. So if you just do /remind, it allows you to set reminders for everyone about different things. This can be really useful in organizing and timing your teamwork. So you might say remind, you might say it's for everyone in the channel, and maybe you want everyone in the channel to join the discussion. And then you just put in a time, 4:07 p.m. When you click that, it'll go through like this, and then you'll see yourself this little information about reminders. You can go ahead and check your reminders if you want to. You can also type in, as it shows here, /remind list, and you can see all of your reminders that way as well. However, also the thing to know is that when the reminder comes through, it will just send it as a message, much like this. But that way you can still make sure that everyone stays on track and set timed updates. It can be very useful. So let's go back over to Canvas and take a look at Canvas a little bit more. So in Canvas, if you go over to the module section, then scroll down to module 2, which is our first team-based module, and then look at the introduction, you can see the general layout of our team-based modules. So each module is 2 weeks long, and in the first week you'll be engaging in a quiz and a team discussion. The quiz is very much like what our quiz in the first module was. They're short quizzes, 4 or 5 questions each usually. They involve interacting with and recalling certain things from the content. Really just tries to make sure that you've engaged with the text, that you've thought about a little bit, and that you can work with it a little bit. Team discussion is going to do a lot of the same types of work, but it's going to allow you to do this as a team and discuss it together. So in order to engage in the team discussion, all you have to do is go over to Slack in your channel and actually take an active role in the discussion there. We can look at our first team discussion here. Our first team discussion is a team charter. And really what it's going to ask you to do is discuss the different structures that you want for your teamwork throughout the semester, such as when are you going to set up schedules, when do you want initial drafts and discussions ready, are you going to use the scheduling app, are you going to use Remind, and we have a few other options that are on Slack as well. How will you overcome differences, how will you handle late work, things like that. So basically for this, what you're going to be expected to do for the assignment is to go over to Slack and actually answer some of those questions, take an active role, make a significant contribution to the discussion. This doesn't mean that you just post once and you have to answer all the questions. You can engage in it as necessary, but it needs to be a noticeable contribution to the overall discussion. It means coming up with some ideas, discussing some different options, really engage in a conversation with your teammates. I don't want to see it just as a break up the different work and one person answers one person answers two, because that's not actually engaging in discussion. You need to do a little bit more than that. So that is the first week. Going back here, first week is that quiz and that team discussion. Both are due as usual by the end of Sunday night. And then the second week, primary assignment is just going to be doing a team exercise. So the team exercise is going to be, as opposed to the discussion, which is really about interacting on Slack, the team exercise is creating a document together. So usually these build out of the discussion in different ways. So in this one, we're going to be working on a correspondence document, and is building out the discussion on a team charter in terms of writing a piece of correspondence that responds to someone who's kind of violating the team charter, and how would you actually write that effectively. So that there's cases here, your documents respond to that, you can break up the work, figure out how you need to organize it, come back together, do some strong editing. This is really a key point. Make sure that when you do these team exercises, you're not just collapsing everyone's work together, because it doesn't typically turn out as effective of a final product as if you really get back together and revise and work together a little bit on it at the end. So after you do the team exercise, at the very end of the second week, you'll also do a quick self and team evaluation. This gives you a little chance to have accountability for each other and to give feedback to each other on how to improve your teamwork. And there's another video in the Module 2 folder that just tells you a little bit more about how this works. We're going to be using an outside app called Teammates. So that is about it for our structures and our tools. We have Canvas, we have Slack. Our units involve a quiz and team discussion the first week, and an exercise and an evaluation in the second week. If you have any questions about this, please do get in touch. I'll be happy to talk to you more about it. And looking forward to seeing you all starting to work in your teams this week. Bye.